Hello and good afternoon. It's afternoon now. Got a late start today on my bird photography, and it's Phil Thatch, and I'm here on the road that goes to the Equestrian Trailhead in Chattanooga, Tennessee, with this all this growth here. There's lots and lots of blackberries. Most of them are red, but some of them are black, and there's some pretty good bird activity over here. And I'm goofing around with my little JBL speaker, which I've got just kind of propped up in between well, I don't know, can I show it to you? Yeah, there it is. I've got it propped up between my side view mirror and the window of the car. And I'm also goofing around with my crazy 800 f11 and the EOS R6. And I've added a third-party lens hood. You know, the lens doesn't come with a hood, and the one from Canon, two things. One, it's kind of expensive, and two, it's out of stock everywhere, and I found this third-party one on Amazon for like less than 20 bucks. So that is what I'm using, and I've gotten some Prairie Warbler photos over here. I'm trying to find some other stuff like a chat. There's a bird called a chat, and I'm hearing a Prairie Warbler now on the other side of the car. But so far, the only thing I've gotten is a Prairie Warbler, and that's okay because I absolutely love the Prairie Warbler. So I'll show you some of those photos now, and I will keep on working. Thanks for joining me today, by the way. This was the only Prairie Warbler photograph that I was really happy with that day, and it has some prey in its mouth, so that's pretty cool. But I have another video that's full of great Prairie Warbler photos, so make sure and check that out. But I also made a video clip of this Prairie Warbler in this location as it was singing, and you can see how it tilts its head back and its entire body shakes as it sings. I ran into my friend Robert Scott when I first got here, and he said that he had seen some Yellowbreasted Chat in this area, and I stayed with it long enough to finally get a photograph of one myself. I did not photograph a Yellowbreasted Chat last year, and I made my first Yellowbreasted Chat photograph the year before last. So I don't see a lot of those, so that was kind of a highlight to get to make a photograph of one today. I wasn't happy with the Yellowbreasted Chat photos that I made at this location, but stay tuned, I got some good ones later. Still hanging around in kind of the same area. I may have moved 20 or 30 yards, and I ran across a blue grosbeak and got a photo of it in the top of one of these young pine trees, which that's one of my favorite places. If you can get the background dark instead of sky, which I was able to. You know, I'm glad I brought the 800 because I don't think I've had anything come closer than minimum focus distance of this lens, and if it's not going to get closer than 19.5 feet, then you might as well use the 800 millimeter lens. If it gets closer than that, my 100 to 500 would be the better choice. Here's a couple of photos of a blue grosbeak, and you know, it's always exciting to get a photograph of a blue grosbeak, but if I'm being perfectly honest with you, this bird's kind of ugly. It's not the most beautiful bird out there. The colors are kind of interesting and unique, but if I had my druthers, I would always shoot an indigo bunting. They are much more beautiful. I came on down here to VW Wetlands. You know, it's only a mile or so, maybe less, from the Equestrian Trail Road. And not much going on down here. I did see a great egret, which is much less common here. We have lots of great blue heron here, which are similar in size, but you don't see as many great egret, but it was way, way back, so no photo of that was made. And then I started to make a couple of weird video clips of various forms of plant life around here, and then it started raining, so I'm going to take a little break. As a matter of fact, I may, you know, I don't think this rain is going to last very long. Matter of fact, it's kind of slowing down now, but I think I'm going to see where else I can go. I may go back to the Equestrian Trail. I may go somewhere else. I was about to head to another location, and I was driving down the road slowly, and there was a swallow of some sort sitting right over there on the guardrail, which I thought was strange. And so I slowed down, thinking that there was a 0% chance that that bird was going to stay there until I got to a stop and got it in focus, but it stayed and I was able to make a number of photographs. Now, embarrassingly, I can't really tell what kind of swallow it is. I don't think it's a cliff, and I don't think it's a tree or a barn. So maybe it's a rough-winged swallow, but I'm not really sure. But it was pretty cool to get a photograph of it sitting right there on the guardrail. On further review, I'm pretty sure this is a northern rough-winged swallow, and I believe this one is very young. Its beak has not even fully hardened. There's still some soft tissue in the corners of its beak, and also the young ones have the chestnut stripes on the wings that the older ones do not. I came up here all the way to the end of the road, right at the beginning of the equestrian trail, and my buddy Percy had told me that kind of over to the right of the restrooms, I think he said he had found a prairie warbler here, and I came over here and I heard a yellow-breasted chat, so I got to work on that, and sure enough, I found one and was able to make its photograph right over there in all of that brush or whatever it is. It's blackberries and other assorted weeds growing at the side of the gravel parking lot. And I think I got a much better yellow-breasted chat photo here than I did down the road a quarter mile or so. I was much more happy with the yellow-breasted chat photos that I got at this location than I was the ones that I made down the road. In fact, I didn't even share those with you, and these came out really well. This one had some prey in its mouth, which is always cool to get a photograph of a bird with some prey in its mouth. It was probably going to take that prey and feed some nestlings, perhaps, but I was really thrilled to get 3 good photographs of this beautiful yellow-breasted chat there right at the end of the road that leads to the trailhead of the equestrian trail there. All in all, it's been a really good day of bird photography. Got started late, went to a doctor's appointment with Miss Heather, and so I didn't get started as early as I would have liked, but it was nice to spend time with Heather. And you know, even though I did get started late, I managed to get some pretty cool photos, I thought. Might have been a little bit better if I'd started earlier in the morning. But make sure and read the article about ethics in bird photography in terms of using a speaker to call birds in. I'm going to put a link to that in the description of this video, much like I did the last video that I did about doing this type of bird photography. And as always, I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye.